due to the circumstance that saw the abandonment of the tournament earlier in the week through heavy storms. Today, playing in very still conditions, a marked contrast to the of earlier in the week. And Australia immediately on back. A little slip there on from Stephen Holt, just losing his feet. Comments that's been made about this particular pitch is that it is rather, and Holt there finding some difficulty keeping his. There's Danny Hall for Great Britain, wears the number 13 shirt, once worn so proudly by Sean Kelly. Sean, international playing days sadly now over. Need a goal scorer of his calibre to bring a dramatic turnabout in their fortunes at the moment. Australia trying to build through the midfield. Nicely there for Britain by Jimmy Wallace. And now to Russell Garcia. Welcome return to the British team after a period of tension. Ball out on the far side. They're looking for Michael Brennan. Brennan showing total commitment to play, but unable to pick out his teammate. And for Britain, it's Ben Sharp down that right-hand side. Up from the Cannock Club in England. Into the Aussie circle, off the foot, and it's a penalty given there by the Dutch umpire Peter van Recht. Nice float. Just Pern, just playing the ball in foot. This game, Peter van Recht, who we just saw in action, his colleague today, that's Ray O'Connor. So third game to Great Britain. Nice, their captain. Arnhem shots and deflected wide of the goal there. Good play. It's still not clear for Australia, and the pass just goes. So a better start for Great Britain than they could have expected. Certainly black-tied airs yesterday. Fighting today, trying to restore some pride, some confidence as well. Circle and taken off the line there by Billy Waugh at the expense, in fact it was Mark Pern there, back sort of given the penalty corner for the ball, deliberately played it, and I don't think Pern had anything to do that. So penalty corner to Australia there first, very incisive by the Australians. Pern, the British forward right back on his goal line there. Stacey at the top of the circle. Be involved. Davis slipped. Stacey, good save there. Needed their goalkeeper Simon Mason to do his best, but not. But he's going to be all right. No, maybe not. He's on his. Stacey won that solid hit of the ball. Mason did well. He knows about it. Stacey. Right to drill it into the covering there. Let's play it down. Into Australian hockey. Good save again. Mason needing to concentrate. Expected a whistle. Now it's with Michael Brennan. Australian chance here for Davis. And a bit of deflection though off Mason. They're looking very dangerous. There he is, Buster Davis. We expect him to get something on it, and he did indeed. Very well indeed. To keep that one out. To drill it in, just so. Hard hit. Played it not. committed. Problems here for Britain. It's gone in. We'll mix up there. It was Troy Elder, I think. Final touch. We'll have to confirm that for you, but I'm pretty sure it was Elder. In the centre of your picture, number 5, running away. See there from Johnson. Slipped it in. Davis was there. Wyatt got a touch and took the ball away from his goalkeeper, and it left the simplest of tasks. So a little misunderstanding there. Evan Mason. And John Wyatt kept in, and Australia have the lead. So what's coming? There could be another one here. Britain really at 6. Doesn't seem to be picking up the dangerous Davis at all. Huge defence. Right at the very heart of the British defence, more experienced, Johnny Moore the captain and Simon Mason the keeper. So, question of miscommunication, I couldn't tell you, but they could have done better there. Australia have them. Australia with 4 points so far from their 2 games. Britain still 6 points. There'll be no relegation automatically from this. That's because we still, of course, have the Olympic Games in Sydney to come. We classify the teams in world order. Top in the world contest the Champions Trophy. Like on for Britain. To dig deep today. Their confidence is rock bottom at the moment. Brennan again with a chance. Mason had it covered. Just wide of target there. Brennan. Australia, dangerous indeed. Brennan, 9th. Australia, only 24 years of age. They're going to have to do a lot of legwork today to close Australia down. Quality possession up front. Selection yet to be confirmed, of course, for the Olympic Games. So playing for their places. Another problem here. And the hit's gone in Britain's favour, but a real chance. This time it's Jeremy Hiskins. One of the new introductions into the experienced players. They've got some real high mileage people in there. 305 caps now. Stephen Davis 260 miles, similar number, and a couple of Centurions as well. Blackburn and Dreyer squads. Plenty to draw on, and they will be focused on Sydney. How they would love to win the Olympic gold in front of their own fans at home. See. Wave of goal shorts. That's comes up. Involved in everything from the exchange, but one of the British players is down there. Ben Sharp seems to have taken the knock. He's got himself up to his feet now. That was good skills by Mark Pern. Australian defender, and drawing the foul right on the edge of that Australian circle. Mark Pern, who made a goal line clearance for Britain shortly before Australia took the lead. Defended the ball out. Cope misunderstanding there. Ball from Wyatt played behind Jimmy Wallace. Good opportunity for Britain to beg it. They really have got to keep their concentration in attack and also in defence. Once again, Stephen Davis got completely away from his marker. Really Stephen Davis for any side to cope with. You have to mark him. He's just even half a yard. Craig Farnham with a free hit for Britain just on the halfway line. Trying to play themselves back into the game. Build some confidence up. Trying to take the free hit quickly, but Stacey hadn't retreated. One Rhett. More experienced umpires as well, and a superb to boot. looking there, and a great steal as well, and a real chance here. Aces out, did he take him? Not in umpire O'Connor's mind, certainly. Play goes on. So, Matthew Smith there on a one with the British goalkeeper. Had to come out and block the danger, but Billy Ward, that really is dangerous for him. Billy Ward had a series of injuries, hoping back somewhere near full international fitness. Scored nothing there. Seems so focused. There's been some suspicion in the press conferences that maybe one or two here in Amsterdam not giving away all their tricks. I don't think Australia ever come out and give you less than 100%. Just making it clear that the breaking down of play, going in there on the Aussie. Again, giving away possession, lobbed over the top, still by Jay Stacey. Farnham got a little nick on it, but it's Australian ball. Just kept in, shot here, and just wide of the target from the goal scorer, Troy Elder. Hard to pick a spot. The pitch was just wide of Mason's right hand post. The British keeper scrapping across there. The ball was on target. Battling away for Britain down that right hand touchline. The Australian again not retreating 5 yards. Britain another 10 yards down the pitch. Wide across the Billy Ward. Has come out on this left hand side now. For support again, slow to get rid of it. Not the defender for that, perhaps as a luck in front. Britain need the ball all over the field. Danny Hall, a little dink in there for Jimmy Wallace. Free hit to Britain, and it was taken quickly, but not 5 yards. 5 yard circle, clearly marked. Line now, which makes life a lot easier for the umpires, and hopefully for you at home as well. Both teams need to be 5 yards from the ball. Stacey trying to play a first-time ball across the face of the British defence. Nice order to come on for Britain. Trying to get it clear, but still it's Australia. Billy Ward scrambling across there, knocking it out of play. Reverse stick side, concedes a corner. Elder for Stacey. Away. Fordham scrambling, not very effective. Stacey again to the ball, well outside, with a little nick off a British stick. It'll be a long corner again to Australia. It's going to be taken Stephen Holt. So crashes one in, comes high off the stick of Johnny Wyatt there, and on the far side, he hit in. Up to 14 and a half. It's gone again. Still Australia leading just by scored by Troy Elder. Ball was lifted into Jimmy Wallace, so Britain will have the free hit. Far side for Great Britain. From this Australia all over the field. I'm not looking for the British defenders dwell on the ball at all. Wyatt trying to play the ball into the circle. Good position. Get the pass, finding him. Good interception there. Brent Livermore. Tussle-haired Aussie at the back. Finds it. Find the pass. Turn intercepts, feeds Wallace. This has made a busy start to this game. Jimmy Wallace. There's Guy Fordham, 7th. Well, there's both sides at the moment. Australia had a little purple earlier on when their goal came. The goal, so much space created behind the British defence. Now, Callum Giles with the bandana. 1-2 there with Fordham. He's got it down in the corner. Tries to catch Callum Giles again. Giles didn't start the game. The Great Britain force at the opening corner. Need to apply some quality corners. The second or the third. Perhaps not quite so quick. That will only pressure. First, Britain needs to get keep it. Just too many turnovers throughout the tournament so far for Britain. We lost. And the corner, Peter Von Reck, like the heavy stick tackle there coming in. 26, Dean Butler. Pretty tough customer. More knocking the ball over the side, wasn't there? There was a clatter of sticks. And Butler took the ball. Glitchy in goal for today. Keen to get this in, and a fine save. Flying save there from Glitchy. Well, diving away to his right. Great save. Lifting up and play goes on. That really was a quality save by the Australian keeper. Keeping it in front again. Davison made a run out. Turn. There, but that really is a strange tackle. Let's that save again. Goodness me. Really troubled Callum Giles. Keepers don't always get the credit there. The Australian ones go for their front runners. Great save from Glitchy. Just what his coach. And that must have really hurt. On in against 99 goal. But on his day, Glitchy was good enough for it. Hard. That British circle, they're relying on the British first touch not being up to scratch. Australia have it right on the edge of the British circle, lifting up onto the British defender. Great timing there. Ray O'Connor is 5 yards. A bit of argue. And there by Umpire O'Connor, just a little bit of stamping by one of the Aussies. Very well, of course. We've had a circus here in Amsterdam this week with the weather conditions. Matches not. Now Brennan. Run down the right hand side. Oh, that wasn't too far away there from Stephen Davis, who made a run out on the right hand side. It did well. Under great pressure there from two Australians. Johnson impeded. Umpires coming in with the win. Australia. They play within the laws, but very edge of them sometimes. That is why they're successful. Australia. Oh, that is Absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. Absolutely magnificent hockey by Australia. Let's enjoy that one again. Whipped in from the head of the circle. Flipped in there at the far post. I think it was Elder again. Yes, there he is, sliding in. And really, they don't come any better than that. Troy Elder, his second goal, Australia's second goal. Great Britain are facing another defeat here. That really took the game onto a totally different plane. Well, there's no way you can defend against that sort of hockey. Perhaps the British marking was suspect. Callum Giles just off target from the top of the circle. And how Britain needed that goal to go in. So that's one of the differences. There are several between these two sides. When Australia get a half a chance, they convert it. Britain off target again there. Callum Giles down in the technical table. Played John Wyatt. That's the job now for the British captain. Spirits must be pretty low in the camp. Tough tournament for Britain. And there are no easy games here in Amsterdam. Definition. Pakistan missing this 22nd Champions Trophy, the first Champions Trophy that they've ever missed. Nation hockey, the Champions Trophy. And their many friends in Holland very much regret they're missing world ranking. So there's Callum Giles. And again, Elder behind the British defence. This time the ball's too far away from him. Having real problems picking up almost forward the run behind the defence. Some hard thinking going down on that defence. Barry Dancer down there, the British coach. Britain who qualified through the men's Olympic qualifier Japan earlier this year. So they're training for this quite an extended period. So strong start with the return of Billy, of course, from Garcia as well, and how Britain needs the experience of Garcia. Although has been very marginal. The Britain reintroduced Garcia to the fray. He's been taken to the fray. Takes over now from Michael Johnson. Perhaps very dark. Experience of Garcia, give him a few pearls of wisdom. How this game can yet be turned around. Well, I'm not a betting man, but if I were, my money would be on a convincing Australian win here. Sure enough, in the opening exchange suggests they mean business. Came off the foot of Callum Giles. And he knows it. Playing some mind games there with O'Connor, but I think Emperor O'Connor probably is the better of that particular puzzle. Mismatch. Ball coming off the Australian stick there. It's going to roll harmless to the goal line. Score of 2 goals. The second I'll remember the time. Privileged to see it. Minutes to go before the break. Light rain falling in the stadium. Here's Russell Garcia. Nicely through there for Danny Hall. Mark Pern on the run. Can Pern get a shot in here? Good covering back. And another penalty corner. Murray Richards sliding in. And the ball then played over the baseline to boot. Tipped over the line there by Steve. Penalty corner then to another chance for them to find a goal. The last corner saw a magnificent save from his own way, every bit as from this game, and that wonderful second. Giles winds up again, and it's in the net this time. Mark Byrne, I think it was. I'll have to confirm that again for you. It may have been Guy Fordham in there. Indeed, it was Fordham who put the ball high into the Australian net. There he is, number 7, Guy Fordham. Let's see it again. Giles' original shot kept out by Gillespie, and Fordham with a first time volley there, high into the rigging behind Gillespie. Nothing you can do that time. Fordham, great shots. That's better for Britain. So 2-1, and Aussies now stung into action again. Mason called off his line, plays the ball over the goal line for a long corner. So Britain scoring there on the corner. Not a direct move, but Fordham took full advantage of the half chance that Gillespie presented him with. The covering defender, no chance. And again, a good steal by Danny Hall. How quickly things can change. You can see that Britain have gained so much confidence in that goal. Goal scorer for Britain, Guy Fordham, lays it back for Craig. Tom Bertram. Nice interchange of passes. Perhaps Britain's best spell in the game so far. Just under 8 minutes remaining in this first half. Russell Garcia. Callum Giles. Woods across the circle and into the net. And it's that man, Fordham again. And what a difference 5 minutes can make in this sport of hockey. 5 minutes ago, who would have thought that Britain could tie things 2-2? Played across Fordham under pressure, diving in, just deflecting it wide with a little tip in. Takes the ball past Gillespie. Good. What a comeback. So, Guy Fordham, not known scoring exploits, maybe is about to open up at the front. That goal, indeed. Back to 2-2. Whatever a half-time respective coaches were planning 5 minutes ago, my goodness, they will have changed now. Convincing, comfortably in the driving seat. 2 goals in these closing minutes of the first half, and peg them right. Stacey against Callum Giles. Britain, my goodness, they're certainly G'd up. Those 2 British goals, the frustration so many. The mercurial talent. They can be brilliant one moment and awful the next. Very much a Jekyll and Hyde. Under pressure again here. Wyatt did very well indeed. Stacey did well as well, rifling that one just wide of the post. Stacey wanted that one. There's a half chance, no more, and he unleashed a terrific shot. It really was travelling. I don't think next to Simon Mason and there that's been on target. So much pace on it. A couple of inches wide of the post. Attacking the ball, wins possession. Britain takes a run forward, and Garcia just off target there. Real determination there from the British. Lovely ball through, just off target. Britain to keep this momentum going. They've shown at the pace of their side, they've shown they've got a big heart. It looked like they've brought themselves back level. Okay, Stacey. Now. Level. It'll be a very fine indeed. Oh, but they can't defend like that. Again, terrible ball watching there by Britain. And Livermore, some 12 yards of goal, just knocking it on the angle past Simon Mason. All the good work that Britain have done, been undone here by another moment of defensive madness. Far too much space in the snow. And Brent Livermore, Australia 3, Britain 2. What a half. 5 goals. Plays it forward again. And where were the British defenders? Hiskins running almost unchallenged. And not going to play there for a long corner only by Andy Humphrey. Again, British defenders were not at home. York feeds it out onto the right. Stephen Holt now built into the circle. Ball to left, the whistle's gone. Jeremy Hiskins was involved in the pass. The guy that put the ball into the back of the net, the whistle already gone. It's free hit, must be taken in the right place. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this first period, and what a half it's been. Wyatt. Farnham out on the left hand side if he needs. Goes for the spectacular and picks out very well indeed. Callum Giles. The ball roll out of play there. Ready to make a couple of substitutions. It's come off. Smith is on number 12. Craig Farnham, 2 minutes now for Britain. It goes to take it quickly, and that certainly wasn't from the position where the offence occurred. Play goes on this time. Consistency there perhaps. Well, good steal there by the experienced player. Russell Goff, playing his club hockey throughout Europe. He's played here in Holland, currently playing club hockey in Germany. Australia over halfway. Davis did well to pick the ball up there under pressure from Wyatt. Livermore, scorer of the third goal, out for Michael Brennan. Had a fine first period. Terrible tackle there going on Stacey, but his strength allowed him to keep possession. A lovely square pass now for Stephen Holt. Now Stephen Davis. Mark Pern doing a lot of work in the British defence, Mark Pern, for a front runner. Plenty of leg work, and it's going to be leg work that's going to be needed by Britain in the second half. Partly to keep the Australians at bay, and partly to try and play themselves back into the game. They've shown they can do that with those 2 goals that so stung the Australians. Britain have a free hit, but they have no time really. We're into the last 10 seconds now in this first half. The Australia then who take that slender lead into the interval as the hooter goes here at the Wagner Stadium in Amstelveen. Australia leading by 3 goals to 2, and they'll be going into a team talk from Terry Walsh that I'm sure will not be gentle. They allowed a team of a lesser quality back into the game against them, and that sort of defensive frailty will be picked up by some of the stronger teams, not just here in Amsterdam, but a little matter of the Sydney Olympic Games still to come. And Michael York, the captain of Australia, as the teams make their way off, we confirm the score for you. It's Australia 3, Great Britain 2.
We're halfway through and there's no turning back now. Commonwealth Bank Trophy netball attacks. Round 7 and the Melbourne Kestrels take it to the Swifts for the first time this season. Sydney shooting for the top of the table. The Talons are out.
Hold on to your hats. This is the final quarter.
Then backing up a carnival on court is the Sydney University Sandpipers let fly against Queensland's finest, the Firebirds.
Oh, great take.
Commonwealth Bank Trophy Netball. 2 games, 2 good. Round 7, Friday, replay Saturday.
There's more to the new tax system than just the GST. From the 1st of July, every Australian taxpayer will get a tax break with cuts to personal income tax. A whole lot of unfair, complicated, hidden sales taxes will be abolished. Family assistance will be increased. Childcare benefits will be increased. Also from July 1, there'll be tax cuts and other benefits for people who invest their savings. Eligible self-funded retirees and pensioners with savings will get a break with untaxed savings bonuses. All government pensions and allowances will be increased and guaranteed to stay above the cost of living. It's a tax system that will move our country forward. Tax reform, because we shouldn't hold Australia back. Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
To receive email on your mobile phone, visit our website now. It's called T-Mail, and it lets you receive short message emails on your existing mobile phone, almost anywhere in the world. You're too busy to talk? Send a T-Mail. You want to notify everyone at once of a new meeting time? T-Mail them. T-Mail. It's hundreds of dollars cheaper than a paging system. There's no other cost apart from a small one-off establishment fee and then 30 cents a message. Call us now to subscribe. It's quick, easy and effective. It's T-Mail.
Goodness for turbos. Introducing the all-new Volvo V70 T5. It's all about family.
Superstars of wrestling.
The goal scorer, the first goal scorer from their earlier game, Garcia, into the middle. Oh, great save by Dreyer. Fantastic. You like to see that from your goalkeeper early too, don't you?
Absolutely. He covered that well. It was an extremely good save.
Davies and Stacey doing just that. Stacey again works it through on the inside. Oh, push backwards. Do I dare say it? Michael Brennan and Stephen Davies, just fantastic. China Davies, have a look at this. Is the boy any good?
Absolutely magnificent. This is what you have to do when you're being closely marked. You can't do the orthodox shooting. You've got to do the unpredictable, and Davies is renowned for that. And we saw the result of it.
There's only one. Absolutely fantastic. One through looking for Davies, and there he is again. Well, they really do need to tighten up on him. Out comes Mason. That is a fantastic individual effort, isn't it? That is fabulous.
There it is again, and just see the depth of skill that Davies has. Just chipping it over, and then just scooping it over to the coming goalkeeper for an excellent goal in number 2.
And Bertram, the English defender, really didn't need to get his body in the way there, didn't he?
Yes, he's just giving him far too much room.
So Davies had one in the 6th minute. He's got another in the 10th minute. And Australia lead this 2-0 against England. Gerard into the back of Livermore. Stacey now. England at 6s and 7s. There's another one. Stacey put it through. Elmer got a stick on it, and then Victory finished it off. Craig Victory, the young fella from South Australia, in his first major international tournament. Have a look at this.
I mean, it's a great ball, and just the deflection and then the finishing off by Victory. What a great introduction to his first, international tournament.
He is stoked as he comes back to the middle too. Look at him. Vivian Taylor goes down. Davies saved by Mason. Excellent work again from Simon Mason, the big man in the England goals.
Really well early in this half, and he's had to do plenty of work, mind you, but he's done it really well.
Now with Brennan, sweep shot, a sweet sweep. Victory Good skills again.
Again, just the ability to eliminate people under close attention and lay the ball up there is just real class.
Garcia up in support. He gets it. Giles. Reverse stick sweep. And the call was no worries as he hit it. Some confidence in the Australian camp. So Gerard. Oh, good touch by Giles. Finished off by Crutchley. That was excellent. Gerard, Giles and Crutchley. And England are winning the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they're well positioned in the circle, and just have a look at it now and to see this. Giles has sort of made a nice move and deflected it across, and it was put in by Crutchley.
So Nigel Crutchley punches the air. No, Robert Crutchley, I should say. Robert Crutchley punches the air. Davies, Stacey. Australia will want to hit back after conceding that goal. Elmer. Oh, they did everything but score.
Yes, just the final pass and just bounced over the stick.
Michael Brennan would love to have put that away. You can hear the crowd counting it down, and Australian free hit. That'll see us out.
That'll see it out. It's a very good victory. Well played by. I think the dominant thing was the amount of tacking and shots on goals, and I think Mason played extremely well in the second half, Dave. You know, prevented the score from being higher than it was.
In a time of violence
I want the war to be over.
and of fear,
I want the hate to be over.
the children of South Africa dared to dream.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
You come. Whoopi Goldberg stars in Sarafina.
I'm powerful because you are the generation that will be free.
Coming soon to Movie Extra.
Hill, 1995. The outcome of the Ryder Cup depended on the penultimate match at the final hole. Jay Hart, down to Philip Walton, needed to hold this chip for a par 4 to stand any real chance of beating his opponent. That left the Irishman under immense pressure with 2 putts to win and take the Ryder Cup back to Europe. Another Ryder Cup moment.
And so welcome back to Amsterdam, to the National Hockey Stadium here in the Netherlands. We're watching the game between Australia and Great Britain in the men's competition. A fabulous first half, Australia leading Great Britain by 3 goals to 2. The action really packed into the last 10 minutes. Australia seemed to be coasting at 2-0 to the good. 2 super goals, one rather special effort indeed from Troy Elder, but they were both fine examples in their own right. They've given Australia a fairly comfortable looking 2-0 lead, but they had to reckon on a fight back from Great Britain, and 2 goals from Guy Forden really stung the Australian camp. That tied it up at 2 each, and then just before the break, Brent Livermore found more than enough space in the British circle to deflect the ball wide of Simon Mason and to put Australia back ahead. So the team's now back out on the pitch. That's the British huddle there. We're looking at a real Jekyll and Hyde performance from them in the first 35 minutes. And there's the Australian outfit. And no doubt they have the words of their coach Terry Walsh still ringing in their ears. He will not have been happy about what happened, allowing Britain back into the game that Australia would have wanted to pull off. So important in tournament play, in such a packed schedule as this one in particular, as will be the Olympic Games, of course, to conserve energy. And once you get yourself into the driving seat, to take the heat out of the game and to kill off your opponents. And Australia needed to find a little bit more energy than their coach and manager would have liked, perhaps. David Colby there, the Australian manager, nearest to our camera. And it's Britain in the white shirts who get this second half underway. Britain playing from left to right as we look at them. Small crowd in the stadium, huddled most of them at the back of the grandstands. It's a cold day here, unseasonal weather in Amsterdam, and consistent rain now falling. Don't worry the players too much. Wyatt. Michael Johnson, Guy Fordham combining. Michael trying to steal the ball back for Australia, but Fordham, the hero for Britain, with those 2 goals. Doing well again. Came off the legs of Stacey. Ball also out of play, so hit into Britain. Taken by Johnson, who finds Russell Garcia. First time passing. Oh, and a poor first touch there by James Wallace for Britain. Disappointing end to a good move there. Those 2 goals for Britain must have given them a lift. Goals have not been easy to come by for them in the tournament. Their first 2 games in the tournament saw a 2-1 reverse at the hands of the host nation, the Netherlands, and then a woeful performance yesterday against Germany, and a 4-0 defeat there for Britain, and Germany were good value for that. Australia's campaign to date, well, they started with a 2-0 victory over Korea. What a remarkable hockey country that is. Just 8 senior clubs in Korea, just 8. I tell you, there are 28 men's teams here at the Amsterdam club, just 1 club in the Netherlands. Puts their performance yesterday into some context. So Australia 2, Korea 0, how the first game started. And Australia 1, Spain 1 was Australia's second outing. So they need maximum points today. They'll be looking at this Champions Trophy and thinking, yeah, we can take gold here. Give their confidence yet another boost. Not that they need any confidence. They look forward to Sydney. Garcia. Garcia again, free hit for Britain, just a metre outside the Australian circle. And a true challenge there coming in on Michael York from Guy Fordham. Easy decision there for the umpire. Ball there for Johnson, looking for his Cannock clubmate Ben Sharp down the right hand side. Russell Garcia, plenty of space in the midfield, but all the Australians back now, goal side of the ball. Craig Parnham wins the free hit, takes it, picks out Fordham, thought he'd been impeded, I agree with him. Stacey picks it up though, and now with Brennan powerfully forward. China Davis plays it now for Stacey, back for Davis, back for Brennan, and again plenty of space there for the Australian front runners. Good covering there by John Wyatt, just knocking the ball away from Stephen Davis. They've seen plenty of each other, those two. Nice of them to get into half-time and not to be in each other's shadow. With the humour there as Brennan fell over. Livermore. Support for Livermore from Murray Richards. Half chance here, and Mason did well coming out to narrow the angle. Stephen Holt there. More than a half chance. Mason did well, stood up, got himself as close to the Australian forward as he could, just closing the angle down completely. Dean Butler on the ball. Wins the free hit off Ben Sharp. Determined. Again, great skill, total commitment. That's Dean Butler diving in there. Didn't seem to get control of the ball, but he wasn't going to give it up, was he? And what an effort that was, goodness me. Mason had got that near post covered, but goodness, that was total commitment there by the Australian forward. Now Russell Garcia for Britain, trying to get Jimmy Wallace going down that left-hand side. Pass just too far ahead of Wallace. Raking pass forward there by Murray Richards, but it's intercepted by Britain, who give the ball away though. Came off the stick of War. Out of play. John Wyatt, ever watchful. Another jet roars overhead at the stadium here in Amstelveen on the flight path into Schiphol, the international airport that services both the Netherlands and large parts of Northern Europe as well. One of the hubs. That came off an Australian stick. It'll be a long corner. Michael York there. He's been around the hockey block a few times, Michael York. I wonder if he's looking at Sydney as his swan song. And a great interception there. And War had to be very quickly across as Livermore, or Elder indeed it was, closed in there. Troy Elder looking for a hat-trick. Two early goals. Picked up there by Michael Brennan, running hard down the left-hand side, shadowed all the way by Guy Fordham. He too is on a hat-trick. Umpire O'Connor on this near side, just laying down the law. Both umpires have played their full part in this game. They've allowed two teams to play some hockey. It hasn't been an over-fussy performance by the officials, and our thanks for that. Callum Giles. Play goes on. This is Livermore, the score of the third Australian goal. Twisting and turning away from the British defender. Trying to play the ball into British circle. All a bit cramped in there though, no room to manoeuvre. There he is, Livermore. Danny Hall. Perhaps not scoring enough goals for Britain to justify his place completely in this team. To find the mercurial goal-scoring talent of the likes of Sean Curley, but the likes of Sean Curley don't come around too often. Now a chance for Sharp, and just wide of the post. Glitchy was down, but Sharp shot just wide of that post and out of play. So Australia there surviving. I think Glitchy may have got a toe to it if he'd been on target. At the other end, problems for Mason, but he did well, diving full length to keep the ball away there from the top of that circle. For them, for Sharp, whose shot it was just a few moments ago into the Australian sideboards. Johnson, oh, played behind Sharp, but Sharp did well. Sharp by name, Sharp by nature. He took a heavy tackle there from Butler. Sharp, oh, that just took his eye off the ball at the critical moment there, and it came off his foot. And umpire calling Butler across for that earlier heavy challenge on Sharp, and it's going to be a card for Dean Butler. It's the green warning card. Umpire O'Connor from Ireland, and there's no doubt in Dean Butler's mind, I think, that he deserved that. And nice to see the umpires and players can actually smile under such circumstances. Good umpiring, allowing play to go on until there was a natural break, but then bringing it back for the card. Hockey operates a 3-card system. The green is just a general warning. Yellow is a temporary suspension, and in the unlikely event, I say that with some feeling, in the unlikely event of us seeing a red card, it's good luck, God bless, for this game, and almost certainly a match suspension from the tournament officials as well. That's very much a rarity in hockey, I'm delighted to say. Australia with a free hit. That dotted circle you can see 5 metres outside the solid shooting circle is there to give a better indication to players and match officials alike when free hits are close to the circle, within 5 yards, or its metric equivalent. You have to be 5 yards from the free hits. Wild free hit, and I don't think players have quite understood what's going on. It's a free hit to Britain for the lifted free hit, and we can get going again now. Wyatt plays it forward for Wallace. Wallace chips it forward now for Pern. Pern just a couple of yards outside the Australian circle, now into it. Took a tumble. I think there was a bit of a con there attempted by Mark Pern. Ray O'Connor was having none of it. I think Mark Pern there knew that his intentions had been well read by umpire O'Connor. Lost control of the ball, tried to con the umpire. So So good umpiring again by Ray O'Connor. It's a good game. Brennan tries to pick out either Stacey or Elder on that right-hand side, but the ball bisecting the two of them. Billy Waugh for Russell Garcia. Hasn't really dominated in the British midfield as we would have wanted from a British standpoint, or would have expected perhaps from a British standpoint. Now Ben Sharp. Very fleet of foot, Ben Sharp. But he's been denied space down this right-hand side. Hasn't really been able to extend those legs. It's the free hit across the circle. And for once it was Australia who were very much at 6s and 7s. I don't think it would have been a goal, the ball coming off an Australian defender's stick rather than a British attacking one, but certainly Australia looking a little dishevelled at the back there, somewhat disorganised. The free hit's gone to Australia. I don't think many people in the stadium understood why. I would be one of their number. This is Matthew Smith. Hard tackle there coming in by Michael Johnson. There he is, Michael Johnson. Worked hard to become now an established player in the British setup. Total confusion. The umpire just making it clear where he wants the free hit taking from. I'm in charge, says umpire O'Connor. We'll play the game my way. And Russell Garcia makes way. Andy Humphrey comes on. Rolling substitutes allowed in hockey, which is an innovation that has certainly improved the flow of the game. Perhaps the enjoyment of the spectators as well. Players regularly interchanged, allowing coaches to have some input and of course to conserve some energy as well. There's the ball there, whipped in by Sharp, but got underneath it a little bit, so lifted into the circle. Be a free hit to Australia. A very scrappy period of play continues as that ball comes off the foot of Callum Giles. But that shown the green card a few moments ago. Britain closing Australia down on this left-hand side for Australia. They look to get themselves across by moving the ball to the right. Tries from the British bench to give the ball some width when they get it. At the moment, Australia with the ball. Stacey's so strong. Lovely ball through again. Oh, wonderful stuff from Australia again. And it came off the back of an Australian stick, but again a wonderful flowing move. Nothing in the build-up to suggest the moment of incisiveness was about to come, but when it did, again it wasn't too far away from another one of those superb Aussie goals. Stephen Davis there in the thick of the action. Considers the opposition circle very much his parish. Now Australia flowing forward again. Into the circle, penalty corner is bound to come. Collision there, it was the Australian forward Matthew Smith going down. Billy Waugh, solid block, always going to result in a corner. Lovely skills there by the Australian, just turning. Billy Waugh had no option but to concede the corner. So penalty corner to Australia, the first of the second half. Push out, Stacey, deflected wide. Big wind up again there from Jay Stacey. We haven't seen him go for the flick shot yet. Maybe he's still got that one up his sleeve for later on. Big powerful player, so strong in the tackle and lethal in attack as well. Jay Stacey of Australia. Australia starting to string their passes together. Whistle's gone. Stacey holds his head. Quite reads the decision from umpire Peter von Rett. Maybe there was a touch of obstruction as the ball went behind Stacey. And the ball played over the top of the grandstand there, much to the delight of the small crowd, but enthusiastic crowd. Plenty of Australians in, enjoying their hockey and their team success so far, and that wasn't too far away from a third for that gentleman, Mr. Elder. Lovely ball across. 4 touches there from Britain. Just wide of target. That would have been a hat-trick for Troy Elder. In Australian foot, quite clearly. And again, Giles caught in possession for a hit to Australia. Just a couple of paces inside the British 25-yard line. Well, even less now. Stacey's going to take it. Flips it in. Simon Mason did well there. Took the ball away from Elder, dominating his circle. There he is, Simon Mason. Plays with the Reading club now in England. One of the country's leading club sides. He read the game very well there, Simon Mason. Quickly out, sniffing out the danger. Michael Johnson plays it now for Andy Humphrey. Chance here, Wallace just off target, must be, surely. Great save there. It was Duncan Woods who had, well, that was a really good chance for Britain in fact, and Dilletti did very well to keep it out, as we'll see. That was the first save from Dilletti. What happened after that we really needed to see. So fast is the action in this game, we didn't even have a chance to complete the slow-mo for you there. We'll see it again now. Great save by the keeper, but then Duncan Woods, and he knows he should have done better. He needed to get that ball high over Dilletti. This is a better patch for Britain. Mark Pern into York, no whistle. As good as the save initially was from Dilletti, he needed to play the ball away from that danger area. Didn't control the rebound off his kickers at all. And that was a real chance for Britain. They've got to take advantage. You don't get too many chances like that against a team of the calibre of Australia. Now we're into the last quarter of the game. Neither side establishing any real pattern in the second period. The game's gone rather dead. Australia perhaps conserving a little bit of energy, but they almost got caught again there. They've been caught once or arguably twice in this game when that British fight back saw them pegging back a 2-goal Australian lead. And they won't want to make that mistake again. Narrow Australian lead. They lead Britain by 3 goals to 2 here in the Wagner Stadium in Amstelveen. Periods of 35 minutes in hockey. We're into the last quarter now. Livermore plays it skillfully forward. Brennan just unable to pick up a bouncing ball. War strides forward, takes it. Plays it now for Mark Pern. Good play there by Pern. Good interchange by Britain. Nicked away, and Australia now a chance to catch Britain on the break. Just 3 Britons back. Ball spread out on the left-hand side now for Hiskins. Into the circle, Mason out quickly. But it was an Australian stick that got the ball first, but the ball deflected there wides by Stephen Davis. Just diving in, getting there before the keeper, but unable to deflect the ball on target. Did well to reach the ball at all there, Davis. Plays it back for John Wyatt, deep in his own circle. Provides the angle, playing it out to Parnham and then on for Callum Giles. Unmistakable figure of Callum Giles, complete with knotted handkerchief on his head. Probably bandana is the fashion term for it. Johnson. Stick handling by Johnson, but his intended pass for Wallace was not read by the British forward. Another searching ball splitting the British defence. This time though it'll go out of play for a 16-yard hit out to Britain. Garcia immediately closed down by Brennan. Hearn clashing with Butler, wins the free hit. Butler coming from the wrong side. York in control as ever. Now Livermore on for Stacey. Stacey drives forward. Lovely ball into the circle and a good interception there by Billy Waugh. He needed to be watchful there. Australia just lifting the pace there with that attack. Little injection of pace that came in originally from Jay Stacey. Callum Giles, not too many opportunities from corners for Giles. Produced one superb save from Giletti in the first period. And his second attempt led to Britain's first goal as well. The rebound was knocked home high into the Australian net by Guy Fordham, who was well placed. Danny Hall, still looking for his first goal in this game. He's got about 13.5 minutes to find it, and his coach will want something from him today. Bertram looks for Garcia. Garcia picks it up. A lovely ball there. Garcia out to Craig Parnham, swept into the circle, and York had to be at his best there. So a strange second half so far. We haven't really seen any great pattern established. Australia playing with plenty in reserve, one feels. Happy to be ahead. No real alarms, but showing that they can just find another gear when it gets a bit interesting for them, when they fancy their chances. Again, really needs another goal, and if Britain can get it, we could have a grandstand finish. I think if Australia can nick another one now, that really would be the end of the affair. York for Livermore, on for Stacey. You always think something's going to happen when Stacey picks the ball up. Never a dull moment when that man's around. Good play there by Craig Parnham. Picking the ball up cleanly with a sliding tackle, and having the presence of mind just to knock the ball out of play when he wasn't in a position to do anything else to help his team. Britain at 6s and 7s a little bit, and illegal challenge coming in there on the British defender. They'll have a free hit. James Elman. Guy Fordham back on the pitch for Britain. He's replacing Jimmy Wallace. Fordham, who scored the 2 goals for Britain, and he completed hat-trick. Well, he's got a little over 11.5 minutes to do so, if he's going to. Michael Johnson runs with the ball, looks up, picks out Fordham. Plenty of Australians back covering. It'll be pretty tough for Britain to break through here, especially with this man on the ball. Jay Stacey. Oh, wonderful interception there by Garcia. Something of a mismatch physically, those two. Russell Garcia, quite small of stature. You wouldn't say that about Jay Stacey. Not to his face. Anyway, Stacey whips the ball out on the left-hand side, looking for Troyer Elder. Well, they're not giving anything up. Oh, beautifully done by the Australian. Very tight to the touchline. Real skill. Holds the ball up, waits for support. Picks out a wonderful ball there for Livermore. Livermore in on target. Good save from Mason. That was wonderful there from Australia again. Fordham back tackling. Played across, and Mason getting enough stick on it, knocking it away there. That wasn't too far away from Elder. Brennan there, drilling it in, came off Mason. It's a long corner. Australia piling on the pressure here. Britain back in numbers. They're looking bit better organised, winning the free hit there. So we're into the last 10 minutes now of this match, and Britain there committing Harry Carey, and on another day that would have flashed into the goal. On this occasion though, into the side netting. So Britain really shooting themselves in the foot, or throwing themselves on their sword or whatever, but it was pretty much an unforced error, wasn't it? Goodness me, what the coach will have to say about that. And Mason looking round over his shoulder, relieved to see the ball off target. Brennan again. Lovely ball, chance here, good covering by Wyatt, still not clear though. Brennan with a half chance, Mason standing up well, charming. Nice little cultural exchange there by the Australian. Livermore picks out Stacey down the right hand side. Well, they picked up that call there for the British team to watch the men knock the ball. Sound advice indeed. Ball watching certainly has been one of the faults in the British defence, certainly in this game. All sorts of gaps appeared, particularly in the first half. I do think that Britain have tightened things up considerably in the second period. But there again, I don't think that Australia have asked quite as many questions as they might have done. Maybe there's a question coming up here. That's good defence by Britain. And that's pretty good stuff from Australia as well. Brent Livermore, he's had a good game for Australia. Michael York slips the ball to his right. So we have a sideline hit to Australia. Seems to be taking a long time to organise. We're back live now. Britain's sideline ball again. It's Tom Bertram. New introduction into the British team. We'll be keen to catch the selector's eye here in this Champions Trophy tournament. It's one of the marginal selections perhaps for the Olympic Games. Does have an additional string to his bow that he's a fearsome striker at penalty corners. Nice composure there by the young British midfielder. Trying to pick up Callum Giles. Callum Giles gets a lot more pitch time nowadays. As hockey changed its rules about not allowing specialist corner strikers to come on at the set piece. Callum Giles has had to develop his outfield game, and he's worked very hard at that and has done well. Doesn't let his team down in that component. So important if they do win a corner. Now Bertram plays it in. Chance here for Pern on the turn. Great shot, it's in the nets! And Britain through Danny Hall are back level again. Well, would you believe it? With under 6 minutes remaining, Australia, who looked just to be trying to kill the game off, running the clock down, are caught napping themselves, and Britain are back level again at 3 each. Danny Hall just finding the right angle to beat a stretching Deletti. Danny Hall, number 13, he needed a goal. His coach wanted a goal from him today, and his coach has been rewarded. So Danny Hall makes it 3 each. Now what have Australia got left? They've coasted through this second 35 minutes. It's been a very low energy performance from them. Haven't played with the sort of vim and vigour that we associate with their game. They've already been held once in this tournament by Spain. They're 5 minutes away from 2 more lost points here. And this This would be a fine result for Britain. It would give their confidence a huge boost. So much relies on a confident team. It took a tremendous dip yesterday with a really poor performance. Very hard to describe it any other way. It was a very poor performance indeed by Great Britain, but they bounced back today. They've dug deep. So 4.5 minutes now remaining. It's tied up at 3 goals each. Surely the next goal, if it comes, will prove to be the winner. And you wouldn't put your money on either side at the moment as Britain come forward now with Johnson. Hearn again has made a run into the Australian circle. Ball now with Garcia. Plays it for Johnson. Across the circle. Good interception there though by Murray Richards. And Brennan back deep. Closed down by Garcia. Brennan picks up the loose ball. Continues his run. And John Wyatt comes across with a no-nonsense clearance that picks out Russell Garcia. Now Mark Hearn again. It's Britain asking the questions at the moment. Hearn taken out at the top of the circle, but play allowed to go on. Very much in the spirit of this game. Elder, those 2 early goals he must have thought was enough to secure the points for Australia, but he had reckoned without this British revival, as we all did. I'm certainly guilty of writing the British team off. Ball deflecting off the British skipper's stick, out for a long corner. Travelling Australians in front of us trying to get behind their team. They will have reckoned on 3 easy points today against the Brits. It's not looking that way now with 3 minutes to go. Britain level as Danny Hall goes forward. He's the wrong side from an Australian point of view of the Australian skipper. Hall shoots, Deletti deflects it wide. Fordham in. And play goes on. Exciting bit of play, and again good umpiring. Damon Deletti deflecting the ball away, a long way away from the goal as well. Almost fell kindly for Fordham. And what a finish we've got on our hands now with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Russell Garcia runs the ball into an Australian foot, wins the free hit. Michael Johnson. John Wyatt. It's Bill Waugh, I beg his pardon. Bill Waugh on that left-hand side. Britain pushing their defenders forward now and looking for the winner. And if you look for the winner, you might also find yourself staring defeat as Australia come forward. Britain short of numbers here. Great shot on target from Brennan, but Mason again doing very well. He's had a very good game, Simon Mason. Made some critical saves for Britain. Garcia under pressure concedes the free hit. Right on the edge of the British circle. Jay Stacey with it, drills it in, gets underneath it, plays the ball too high. Straight at Michael Johnson. He did well to keep his body out of the way. He wins the free hit for the lifted ball. Neither side have given up the 2 points, still up for grabs. 3 points for a win, just 1 for a draw. Australia drilling it forward, looking for Brennan. Not able to pick the ball up cleanly though. We're into the last minute. Australia not 5 yards, not for the first time. Michael Brennan. Fordham. Nice ball to Garcia. Mark Hearn. Perhaps Britain's last attack. And the ball lifted. Looking for Fordham and continue to run into the circle. 20 seconds now left on the clock. Just had a close-up there of Ray O'Connor. There may not be other opportunities to congratulate the 2 match officials, Peter von Rett from the Netherlands and Ray O'Connor from Ireland. It really has been a very well umpired game indeed. introduce some humour as the final whistle goes, and I think Britain will be the happier with that draw. Australia 3, Great Britain 3, it finishes. Congratulations all round, and Britain must feel as if they've turned a very significant corner here. Fine fighting performance, coming back from 2 goals down and then 3-2 down to snatch a point, to snatch a draw. Michael Brennan with a late chance for Australia, and Mason doing ever so well. Got his angles right, the big British skipper there, keeper rather. Guy Fordham, 2 goals from him today as well. 1 or 2 half chances that might have seen a hat-trick. Congratulations all round there. Little wink there from Danny Hall, scorer of the 2 British goal scorers there in the picture. Danny Hall, here he is, number 13, goes round Michael York. Seemed to lose possession, did enough there. And that ball well saved by Deletti with that big padded left glove. So 1 or 2 problems perhaps in the Australian camp. Some food for thought. Terry Walsh there with his hands on his hips, and there at the stadium here in Amsterdam, and there is confirmation of the scoreline for you. It finished Australia 3, Great Britain 3.
This has been a C7 Sport presentation.